Hello everyone, coming to you live from my very messy hotel room in Kuala Lumpur. I wanted to talk about how to protect yourself from getting hurt. Okay, we're going to be going into setting boundaries, having standards, and also just realizing that you can actually choose to not be hurt. High standards protect you from low quality experiences. It's true. And if you're someone that is very, very afraid of being hurt again, just know that low-key, half of it is in your control. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you got out of a really bad relationship, okay? You saw the red flags from the beginning, you kept giving that person chances, and you ended up getting hurt. Looking back, you can probably say that it was a little bit on you. You saw the red flags and you chose to ignore it. Every person, or most people at least, they have red flags. And we ignore it for different reasons. Maybe they're attractive. Maybe we were already attached and didn't know how to let go. Maybe they had money or something that you liked. But it's your responsibility to acknowledge those red flags and then GTFO. So when I came out of my first ever relationship, I would not actually say that my boyfriend at the time hurt me. I hurt myself. I hurt myself by being with him, by staying with him. And that truly traumatized me. And I think to this day, I had never fully forgiven myself. However, I have never actually made the mistake, again, of seeing a red flag and then, you know, dating that person. I see a red flag, I don't give you a chance, I'm gone. You know, I don't like people who say, oh, maybe like just try, give them a chance, get to know them more. No, I am not putting myself in a position again to get hurt. And I will say this, I am only willing to get hurt if I think that person is worth getting hurt for. AKA, let's say you fall in love with a person, you don't really think they have red flags. Naturally, you can't avoid getting hurt in all arenas. So let's say, you know, you're in a relationship with them, certain things happen, you get hurt, whatever. I'm willing to get hurt in that scenario because it was worth it. But you know when it's not worth it? When you see the red flags, when you know they're not the type of person you want, yet you continued to waste your time on them. And you see those TikToks where it's like fumbling the guy who was perfect for me, and then the girl's like totally unbothered, or fumbling the guy that was in my league, unbothered, and then it cuts to fumbling the guy who I was out of their league, fumbling the shit guy. And you know why we actually feel emotion towards the latter? It's because we know that we shouldn't have been with them. We know that we shouldn't have even been wasting our time on them, and that's why it hurts. That's why we are bothered by it. After that breakup, I was so traumatized. Genuinely, I didn't forgive myself. I was like, oh, Simone, you're such an idiot for staying this long. I was 19, by the way. First relationship. You saw the red flags, yet you stayed. And I really didn't forgive myself. And I was terrified of this repeating until there was at some moment in time, I realized I could choose to not go through that again. And quite frankly, I have not gone through that again, or I have not gone through anything remotely similar, because now I have boundaries. Now I see red flags in 5 minutes. I can see it so clearly. Go watch my how to get over someone video. I go into red flags a little bit in there, but quickly, what I said in that video was that it only takes one tiny red flag for you to extrapolate on that data. For example, let's say you're sick or you're not feeling very well and you bring it up to that person, and if they completely ignore it, or you can tell they don't really care, you can extrapolate that to be like, maybe they're not going to be that caring in the relationship, maybe they're not that attentive as a person. And I find this to be very true. Guys, I've collected my data and I'm a psychology student. It's very true. It doesn't just stick in one arena. It's everywhere. How one person does one thing is how they do everything. Just based on the fact how one person does one thing is how they do everything, you can see red flags very, very quickly. And then you can like decide if you want to leave or not, or put up with it or not put up with it. For example, there was this guy I was talking to recently, and he was honestly great in most areas, but there were some things I couldn't ignore. Like right now, I have some jaw issue where like my jaw fucking pops out of the socket. It's displaced. Anyways, this dude, he kept wanting to call me. And this was around the time where my condition developed and I got diagnosed, and I was very upset and I didn't want to talk to anyone. This dude calls me. Hello, can we talk? And I'm like, no, I've got this thing going on right now and I can't really talk. And you know what his reply is? It's not like, oh my God, I'm sorry you're going through that, or how are you doing? What can I do to help? His response is, how about I call you and you just listen to me speak and I just want to see your face. So like right off the bat, I can extrapolate that data. He will put himself first, lack of attention, lack of care.